And here we are once again, me Qjx with the Morrigan project. I just wanna give a disclaimer that some of the stuff that I say in these videos is sensitive, and if you don't like, or you don't acquaint with the theme, or you don't acquaint with what I'm saying, just scroll over and because denial is pretty much like he said, the human first response. So natural response of humanity, I guess. But today's topic is something that has been boggling my mind, and I think it's important for us to talk about it because, okay, I don't know math to perfection. I just know that from 50, let's say World War II ended in 1946, I believe. So let's round out the math and say that from 50s, let's put it 50 because there is always a residue after the war, right? So we'll say 1950s. And from 1950 to 2050, how much is that? 100 years? I have to check out the math again because, like I say, my math is always crooked. But my point is that in the history of mankind, is a very short period of time. And all we know about humanity since the beginning is war, disease, and all of it. So what I'm trying to say is that if we cannot love, if we cannot understand, if we cannot cope, if you don't know those words, you should go back to school. But if you cannot get along with your brother, with your sister, if you cannot get along with your neighbors, then yeah, destroy it all. Because unfortunately, this is the only home we got. So I know the video might be taken down. I know there are repercussions for the things that I say. I come as a humanitarian, yes, an activist for peace and order. Because this is just, I'm sorry the word, but this is bullshit. So the one here are threatening the neighbor. The other ones over there are threatening who knows who. And for what I heard, one of them just proclaimed that they have 61 nuclear bombs. So it's just so ridiculous. It's the only word I can find. Outrageous. That we are more concerned about killing the brother, killing the neighbor, than getting along with them. So my question is, how long is this bullshit gonna keep going? So yeah, as long as it takes, I guess. But then I just know, I can't tell you what precisely, because no one can pass the choices that they don't understand, right? I love that line. To threaten someone on that level, or to threaten you're not threatening just the West. You're threatening the entire world. the only home we got. And I know certain numbers, even though my math is crooked. And I'm gonna put it out there so that you have a little perspective into the future. You say 61. I'll tell you that's not enough. You have to quadruple that. And I'll tell you what happens once you quadruple that. You're gonna create a chain reaction in the world that you won't be able to stop. With what authority do I do this? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what authority do I have to do this. I'm a citizen of the world. This is the only home I know. But for those who are doing the right thing, for those who hopefully have a little bit of heart still, when adversity hits your door, we have to be ready to protect home. And I don't like to say it like this, but at all cost. Because there won't be anything left. So, let's say, of course, aside from the sacred books and all that stuff, the history of mankind is roughly 10,000 years. Maybe more, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. And it's so sad that the dinosaurs last almost millions of years. And we, that we're supposed to have an intellect, that we're supposed to be supposedly the most advanced, the best thing we can do with that knowledge is to kill each other. I mean, I have heard things of, I don't want to mention it here because it's crazy, but I have heard of people doing stuff to children, people doing stuff to women. What have this world come down to? It makes no sense at all, man. It makes no sense at all for what we have become. And I almost would like to say you, because I don't mix myself with that shit. It's just repulsive. So you do whatever the fuck you want with your 61 nuclear bombs, quadruple that, and might as well all go. Because if you cannot get along with your people, if you cannot get along and love your neighbor, and love doesn't mean being in their space. Love means respect their space. So this is just a little message of peace, hopefully, if any. But a little refresher, sorry. A little refresher. A little something to be more mindful. Because there are many talking about monks and priests and this and that and all kinds of beliefs and crap and bullshit. But then we are trying to destroy each other. That makes no fucking sense, man. That makes no fucking sense. If in your heart, I'll tell you that much, if in your heart there is only death, misery, and chaos, it's already as fucked up as it gets. Because no world will stand alive for that. So I do ask kindly, of course I don't have any authority, right? That we think a little bit of what goes in the media. You saying that there are 61 nuclear bombs. You already are a threat to the world. So I personally, I'm so sorry, I'm just gonna put it as a disclaimer. I don't have no religion or political view. I don't have none of that stuff. Because in the years that I have been on this world, I have learned that none of those things is what makes you human. When I see people and I hear raping, murder, pedophiles, genocide, all the crimes that have been done in the history of man, your religions, your political views, your all that bureaucracy is just that bullshit. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I already been and walked the mile. And you know what I mean by that. But this is just ridiculous. Grown men who think that you can move the world with your pinky because you have money, because you have nuclear bombs, because you believe that some deity out there is gonna soften your way. But your way is to destroy your neighbor. Once again, your ways is to harm children. Your ways is to kill your brother. So what kind of bullshit is that? If we are gonna talk bullshit and we're gonna talk what the talk is, let's put all the pieces on the table. And I talk to you as a man of this world. This is just preposterous. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lecture you. This is not really to lecture you. This is to try and hopefully make some sense of you. That before we destroy each other, before we do something we truly regret, and once we realize that, well, like I said, quadruple that, and you'll see what will happen. So, you people just don't give a fuck. Not even for yourselves. So it's ridiculous. It's bullshit. Yeah, might as well just erase it all. I don't see no point. So I'll leave you with that. Think about it. Don't send me messages, ridiculous messages. The words stay in the wind, so they go to the wind. But the actions stay. Someone said, be careful with what you say. I said, be careful with what you do. Because it's within the action that the sin lies. Take care.